Hurricane Lee changed what it meant for a storm to intensify quickly on Thursday, September 7, 2023, from the North Atlantic to the Caribbean islands, advancing gradually. Within the course of just one day, Lee strengthened from a Category 1 storm to a Category 5 storm. A storm was once seen to be intensifying quickly if its sustained winds rose by 35 miles, 56 kilometers per hour in a 24-hour period. Hurricane Lee, however, doubled its speed in a single day, going from 80 miles, or 129 kilometers per hour, to 129 miles, or 290 kilometers per hour, which is thought to be a stunning rise. Lee became the third fastest intensifying Atlantic hurricane in history as a result, and the first Category 5 storm of the 2023 season. As soon as it happened, the wind speed dropped again, forcing the storm to alternate between Category 3 and 4. However, it's still unclear what this storm's behavior means. Storms appear to be occurring more frequently than ever and growing larger more quickly. On Friday afternoon, as Tropical Storm Ophelia made its way towards the North Carolina coast, heavy weather began to cover several areas of the state. The storm was roughly 120 miles southeast of Cape Fear, North Carolina, and 165 miles south-southwest of Cape Hatteras as of 5 p.m. on Friday. Maximum sustained winds have increased to 70 miles per hour, with gusts reaching greater speeds, and it is moving north-northwest at 12 miles per hour. 275 miles are affected by tropical storm force winds. Forecasters predict that a second system will most likely develop in the Atlantic. And so, what if two storms collide or merge? The subject of whether two hurricanes may combine is frequently brought up during active hurricane seasons where several storms develop back-to-back. The Fujiwara effect is the term used to describe the unusual but not unheard of phenomena. The Fujiwara effect is a phenomenon that occurs when two hurricanes pass close to one another while spinning in the same direction. The National Weather Service describes this interaction as the storms begin an intense dance around their common center. Typically, the stronger hurricane will absorb the weaker one. Storms that are similar in strength will be drawn to one another, circle one another, and eventually depart on separate courses. The weather agency adds that while it can happen, it is uncommon for two lesser storms to combine into one larger storm. Sakuhei Fujiwara, a Japanese meteorologist, initially described the phenomenon in a paper that was published in 1921, and he is the recipient of the phenomenon's name. An instance from more recently took place in the Eastern Pacific, off the coast of Mexico, in 2017, when two storms by the names of Hillary and Owen collided. Have two major storms simultaneously made landfall in the United States? A number of times, although not always in the same state at the same time, two or more powerful storms have made landfall back-to-back in some cases, only a few hours apart. The rare occurrence of back-to-back landfalls by hurricanes Laura and Marco in 2020 was foreseen by meteorologists. Before it got to Louisiana on August 25, Marco, however, considerably weakened. Cameron, Louisiana saw a Category 4 hurricane named Laura on August 27. Within a 6-week period in 2004, Florida was affected by 4 major storms. 5 possibilities under the Fujiwara effect. First possibility: if one hurricane is more powerful than the other, the weaker one will circle the stronger one until it collides with its center, causing absorption. Second possibility: a second theory is that if two storms of about comparable intensity pass close to one another, they may be pulled into a common center where they may briefly merge or just spin around one another before continuing on separate routes. Third possibility: On occasion, if the two cyclones are strong enough, they may merge to form a super cyclone that can seriously damage coasts. Fourth possibility. There is a chance of partial straining out, in which case a portion of the smaller storm is lost to the environment. Fifth possibility. There is a full straining out, in which case the smaller storm totally dissipates into the sky. Similar intensity storms are not subject to the straining out. How dangerous is the Fujiwara effect? The Fujiwara effect causes cyclones to intensify quickly, produce more rain, and move in unusual ways over warming oceans, increasing their unpredictability. The unique nature of the interactions between the two storm systems is what gives rise to this intricacy. The Fujiwara effect presented considerable difficulties for meteorologists trying to forecast the paths and intensities of typhoons PARMA and MELOR in 2009 when they first made landfall. As a result of this contact, the weaker typhoon PARMA suddenly strengthened, changed its course, and lingered over the Luzon region, causing extensive destruction in the Philippines. This interaction was caused by the smaller typhoon PARMA's interaction with the more potent typhoon MELOR. The typhoon performed repeated U-turns and made 3 landfalls over Luzon, according to research that was published in the journal Weather and Climate Extremes in September 2020. Cyclones Seroja and Odette collided in the Indian Ocean in April 2021, roughly off the coast of Western Australia, resulting in a similar catastrophe. Seroja intensified and took on previously unheard of paths as a result of this interaction. Indonesia had previously experienced flooding and landslides as a result of Seroja before this collision. The little Australian tourist town of Kalbarri was consequently damaged to a 70% extent by Seroja, which retained its vigor. Likewise, strong winds plagued the Bay Area and other areas of central and southern California in March 2023, uprooting trees, smashing windows, and severing power lines, according to a report in the Los Angeles Times. National Weather Service meteorologist Rick Carnepper in Monterey County reported peak gusts of 60 to 75 miles per hour in the Santa Cruz Mountains and winds of 50 to 60 miles per hour in Santa Cruz and Santa Clara counties, both of which were attributed to the Fujiwara effect. The storm that hit the Bay Area occurred a few months after Tropical Storm Godot and Typhoon Hinamna, the two storms that combined to form the strongest tropical cyclone of 2022 in the eastern Pacific. Before Godot was absorbed by Hinamna, the two cyclones engaged in an epic dance. Likewise, the Fujiwara effect poses a challenge for weather services and observers due to a paucity of historical research and data. It is therefore difficult to evaluate Fujiwara effect events over long time periods. It has been recognized by experts that this odd effect is occurring more frequently, and they attribute this to a rapidly warming planet and the associated warming of the oceans. There were 10 instances of the Fujiwara effect in the Northwest Pacific Ocean between 2013 and 2017, according to Robbie Shankar Ponde, a research assistant at the Department of Atmospheric Science at the National Central University in Taipei. Meanwhile, Ophelia is anticipated to touch down in the afternoon. As of 5 p.m., the storm's location on Friday was roughly 165 miles south-southwest of Cape Hatteras and 120 miles southeast of Cape Fear, North Carolina. A maximum sustained wind speed of 70 miles per hour and greater gusts are present, and it is traveling north-northwest at 12 miles per hour. The 275-mile range of tropical storm force winds. On Friday night, Ophelia is anticipated to approach the North Carolina coast. On Saturday and Sunday, it is anticipated to go across the state as well as Virginia. A hurricane watch has been issued for portions of North Carolina. Forecasters stated in the 5 p.m. update that some additional strengthening cannot be ruled out as Ophelia traverses the warm waters of the Gulf Stream on its approach to eastern North Carolina. Parts of the mid-Atlantic coast are at risk for tornadoes, and parts of North Carolina and southeast Virginia could have 3 to 5 inches of rain, with some locations receiving 7 inches. According to Malcolm Turnbull, we learn from every natural disaster. Whether it's a fire or a flood, We learned something from it, so we can respond to the next one better. You can suggest topics you want to see next in the comment section below. Please subscribe to Weather Collapse if you want to know more and be updated on the latest news about natural calamities or disasters happening all over the world, and don't forget to like today's video. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.